Let's now cross to the US and catch up with Sky News contributor Kristin Tate. She's live in Washington, D.C., staying up late for us, Kristin. Must be exciting. I know you've already cast your vote, but a lot of polling stations open around the country from 7 a.m. I know there's some quirky ones that do a little bit before then, but what are you expecting to see unfold in the morning? A really big ground game to convince people as they turn up at polling booths?
Yes, of course. Although we've seen historic early voting numbers, even among Republicans, and Republicans have traditionally been very hesitant about embracing this idea of early voting. But yes, I cast my ballot early. My whole family did. Most of my friends did. But of course, there's still a big population percentage that has not done so and will do so tomorrow. And the ground game continues with both of these campaigns until everyone who intends to vote has voted at the end of the day tomorrow.
Well, it's been a hell of a flurry today. I think Donald Trump is still speaking as we go to air, but there's been a lot from him and Kamala Harris today. But Donald Trump, as is his way, he comes out with a big new policy, how he's going to threaten Mexico with tariffs if they don't do the right thing on their side of the border to help secure it. Here's Donald Trump today.
If they don't stop this onslaught of criminals and drugs coming into our country, I'm going to immediately impose a 25% tariff on everything they send in to the United States of America. If that doesn't work, I'll make it 50. And if that doesn't work, I'll make it 75 for the tough guys, and I'll make it 100.
This is classic stuff from Trump, isn't it, Kristin? That's him putting the weight on other countries to lift their game and also bringing it back to that crucial issue of immigration.
Yeah, it's a brilliant idea. And yes, there's a feeling in the air that is very reminiscent of 2016. He won that election because of immigration. And right now, he's trying to mobilize his base in 7 key states: Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. Remember, in 2016, he won all of those except for Nevada, and the polls are looking pretty good. They're very, very tight in all of these states. He's actually up 1 in Pennsylvania, but this election is going to be like a knife fight in a phone booth. I mean, it is just so close. So every little policy he can throw out there to excite his base and get them to the polls will help him, particularly in those 7 states.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at what Kamala Harris has been saying, and she's really been going with her rehearsed lines. Here's a key one.
Turn the page on a decade of politics that has been driven by fear and division. We are done with that. We're done. We're exhausted with it.
Oh, this turn the page. You know, I'm thinking of the '60s. You know, the turn. It's a meaningless phrase, but also this idea of fear and division all comes from the Trump side. When they've just been so divisive for so long on a range of issues, in particular race issues, of course.
Yes, this woman is a completely vacuous, empty pantsuit. She just spouts talking points that mean nothing and bumper stickers and fluff. And it was exciting for the first week when they replaced Biden with her, and people were kind of, on board with these slogans. But so many people now, even Democrats, are saying, what does this woman stand for? What are her plans? How is she actually going to be different from Biden? A question, by the way, that she's been asked in the very few media interviews she's done, and she just won't answer it. Even when she went on The View, a very liberal, friendly show to her here in the U.S., they asked her that question. She can't answer it. So I just think at this point, everyone who's voting for her is doing so knowing that we don't know what her policies are. They're just casting a vote against Donald Trump, and that's what she is banking on to get her across the finish line.
Now, I shouldn't let hypocrisy get on my nerves anymore because I just see it everywhere, every day. But it's kind of my driving motivation is to expose blatant hypocrisy. And you can't get any better than this. The leading Democrats who for years told us that Joe Biden was okay, who lied to us about the capacities of Joe Biden and said he was fit to be president and to run again for president. Well, now have a look at what Nancy Pelosi says about Donald Trump.
People who might thinking about voting for him have to know that he can't last as president for 4 years with his brain deteriorating at the rate that it is, and is clearly evident. And they may be voting for President Vance, which would be a horrible thing for our country.
So the people who scoffed at look out for Biden, you'll end up with Harris, are now saying look out for Trump, you'll end up with Vance. Me, I like the idea of Vance anyway.
Yeah, that would be great. No, but these people are such a joke. Their lines about Trump just aren't working anymore, particularly this one. I mean, this is just hilarious, trying to get Trump on his age when they were telling us that Joe Biden was totally with it. He's never been sharper, while the guy was clearly a vegetable. I will say, even though Trump is on the older side, he is aging quite well. He's clearly very much with it. People age at different rates, but this is just a joke. I mean, nobody's taking that line of attack seriously from Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, it is laughable, and I did really enjoy Donald Trump's response, a little bit of instant psychoanalysis. Have a look.
This was crazy, Nancy. She's such a bad one. She's already plotting a move to try and impeach him. She's a bad, sick woman. She's crazy as a bedbug.
Crazy Nancy, hey?
This is why we love Trump. He is a natural comedian. He's funny. He really loves interacting with and speaking to regular working American people. And this is why he's been so successful. But his comedic timing is perfect.
Sure is. Pretty good stuff. Thanks for staying up for us, Kristin. You got a big day tomorrow. Thanks. And we'll catch you live here tomorrow night when the results are in.
Sounds great. Thank you, Chris.